In the pouring rain of a small Texas town, 17-year-old Alex sprinted through the shadows, his sneakers slapping against the wet pavement as distant sirens sliced the night air like knives. He knew his father, Captain Ryan Harlan, the town's iron-fisted police captain, was closing in fast, and this time there would be no second chances. Bursting through the door of the Rough Riders biker bar on the outskirts of town, Alex collapsed at the feet of a circle of leather-jacketed men, his voice cracking as he gasped, "Please, hide me from my cop dad. He'll kill me if he finds out I'm gay." The bikers froze, their pool cues hovering midair, beers halfway to their lips. Jax, the burly leader with a scar running down his cheek, stared down at the soaked kid, his eyes narrowing. "Kid, you got some nerve barging in here. This ain't a shelter." But Alex's eyes were wild with terror, and something in his desperate plea hit Jax harder than he expected. The bar's dim lights flickered over tattooed arms and faded denim, the air thick with cigarette smoke and the low rumble of Harley engines outside. Alex scrambled to his feet, clutching a worn backpack like it was his last lifeline. "He beat me again tonight. Found out about me liking guys. Said he'd lock me up for good this time." The bikers exchanged glances, some smirking, others shifting uncomfortably. Jax crossed his arms, his voice gruff but not unkind. "We don't get mixed up in cop business, especially not family drama." But as the sirens grew louder, Alex dropped to his knees again, tears mixing with rain on his face. "Just for tonight, I'll pay you back somehow. Please." One biker, a lanky guy named Rico, shrugged and nodded toward the back room. "Boss, the kid's gonna get us all in hot water if we toss him out." Jack sighed, rubbing his stubbled jaw. "Fine, hide him in the storeroom. But if this blows up, it's on you, kid." They hustled Alex through a door behind the bar, the scent of motor oil and stale beer filling the cramped space lined with crates and tools. Alex huddled in a corner, heart hammering, as Jax loomed over him. "Rules. No noise, no calls. And we check your bag. Can't have surprises." Alex hesitated, his fingers tightening on the straps, but the sirens were right outside now. He handed it over reluctantly. Jax unzipped it slowly, pulling out clothes, a phone charger, and then a thick manila folder wrapped in plastic. He flipped it open, and his face went pale. Inside were documents, police reports, photos, and a handwritten letter dated 3 months ago. The letter started, "Dear Tyler, I can't stop thinking about that night we kissed behind the old mill. Your dad would kill me if he knew, but I love you anyway." Jax's hands shook as he read further. The pages detailed how Alex's father had orchestrated a raid on the bikers' clubhouse last year, planting evidence that got 2 members arrested. But the real shock hit when Jax turned to the last page. A grainy photo of a boy with Jax's own eyes, lying in a hospital bed, tubes everywhere. The caption in Alex's scrawled handwriting, "Tyler died because of my dad. He found out we were together and made it look like an overdose." The room went dead silent. Jax's voice came out in a whisper, "Tyler, my son." Alex's eyes widened in horror as the truth crashed down. The bikers crowded in, their faces a mix of rage and disbelief. What had started as a simple hideout had just become a powder keg. Jax dropped the folder, his fists clenching. "You better start talking, kid. Now." Outside, the sirens wailed to a stop, doors slamming as Captain Harlan's voice boomed through the rain. "Search the place. My boy's in there." The storm was just beginning. Jax stood there, the folder trembling in his grip, his mind reeling from the photo of his dead son Tyler staring back at him. The bikers murmured in shock, Rico pacing the storeroom floor while another, a quiet one named Bear, leaned against the wall, arms crossed tight. Alex shrank back, his voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't know, I swear. Tyler never told me his last name. We met at a party in Austin. Kept it secret because of my dad." Jax slammed the folder shut, his scar twisting with fury. "Secret? My boy was 18 when he started hanging around here, helping with bikes. Then that bastard cop raids us, says we deal drugs. Tyler gets caught in the crossfire, overdoses 2 weeks later. Official story. But this, He jabbed a finger at the letter. This says your old man knew about you too. Knew and did something about it. Alex's shoulders shook as memories flooded back. He had run from home after his father found a text from Tyler, the one that said, "Miss your smile, babe." The beating that followed left bruises hidden under long sleeves, and the threats. No son of mine turns queer. I'll ship you to juvie myself. But Alex had stolen the folder from his dad's home office weeks ago, piecing together the corruption. The raid wasn't about drugs. It was payback for Tyler's relationship with Alex, a way to silence the bikers who might expose the captain's dirty dealings. He framed you all, Alex said, his words tumbling out. Planted coke in your clubhouse. Tyler tried to warn me, but Dad got to him first. Made it look like he OD'd on stuff from your crew. Jax's face hardened, but there was a flicker of something softer. Grief. Maybe recognition. Tyler always talked about this kid he loved. Said he was scared of his pops, some big shot cop. Never connected it. Rico whistled low. Boss, this changes everything. Kid's got proof we can use. But Bear shook his head. And bring the whole department down on us? We're outlaws, not heroes. The argument heated up, voices rising as rain pounded the tin roof. Alex felt the weight of every choice pressing down. He had begged for hiding, but now he was dragging these men into his nightmare. Jax paced, his boots thudding. We hide him, for Tyler. But tomorrow we talk real. No more secrets. As the cops banged on the front door, Jax shoved Alex deeper into the shadows, his hand firm on the boy's shoulder. Stay put. Captain Harlan's voice echoed through the bar. Open up, or we kick it in. The bikers filed out, Jax leading with a forced smile. What can we do for you, Captain? Harlan, tall and imposing in his uniform, scanned the room, his eyes cold. My son's missing. Seen a skinny kid with dark hair. Jax lied smooth as oil. Nope, just us regulars. But as the cops poked around, Alex's heart raced in the back, the folder's contents burning in his mind. He had come for safety, but the truth in his bag had shattered the biker's world. Jax returned later, face grim. They're gone. For now. Alex nodded, but the betrayal of his father felt heavier than ever. Little did he know this was only the spark. The storeroom felt smaller as the night dragged on. Alex sitting on a crate with Jax across from him. The folder spread between them like a confession. Jax's eyes bored into Alex's, demanding answers. Tell me everything. From the start. Alex swallowed hard, the rain outside mirroring the storm inside him. He started with the first time he realized he was different. At 14, sneaking glances at boys in gym class, feeling the shame his father drilled into him with every sermon on real men. Captain Harlan was a pillar of the community. Church deacon, town hero who locked up bikers like Jax's crew for sport. But behind closed doors, he ruled with fists and slurs. He caught me once, looking at a magazine. Beat me so bad I missed school for a week. Jax listened, his jaw tight, nodding slowly as pieces fell into place. Tyler had been the light in Alex's darkness. The boy who made him feel seen, loved, without judgment. They met online first, then in secret at abandoned spots around town. He said his dad was a biker, but I never asked more. We talked about running away together, starting over. The folder held more, emails between Harlan and a shady informant, proving the planted drugs, and a deleted report showing Tyler's overdose was actually a forced injection. Alex's voice broke. Dad found our messages. Said he'd kill Tyler if I didn't end it. I tried to warn him, but it was too late. Jax stood abruptly, kicking a crate that splintered against the wall. My boy died thinking I didn't care, all because of that pig. The other bikers had gathered by now, listening in the doorway. Rico's face was flushed with anger. We take him down. Kid's got the ammo. But Bear, ever the voice of caution, interjected. And what about the kid? He's 17, runaway. Cops will say we kidnapped him. Alex felt the moral tug of war. Was he betraying his blood by spilling family secrets? Or was silence the real crime? He thought of Tyler's laugh, the way his hand fit in his, and knew there was no going back. I don't want revenge. I just want out. But if this helps you, I owe it to Tyler. Jax softened slightly, clapping a hand on Alex's back. Your family now, in a way. Tyler would have wanted that. They spent hours planning how to leak the documents anonymously, get Alex to safety in another state. But doubts crept in. One biker, a newer guy named Spike, muttered, "What if the kid's lying? Cop's son turning on his own?" Alex's stomach twisted. Trust was fragile here. As dawn broke, Jax made a call on a burner phone. "We move at dusk. But first, we verify." Alex watched them pore over the files, his heart aching with the cost of his escape. He had traded one prison for another, but the biker's loyalty felt like the first real home he'd known. Yet the shadows of betrayal loomed. His father wouldn't stop, and the bikers had their own codes. The day stretched, tension building like a coiled spring. By midday, the bar had cleared out, leaving Alex and Jax alone with the weight of decisions. Jax tossed Alex a clean shirt from the lost and found bin, the fabric rough against his bruised skin. "You eat." Alex shook his head, stomach rumbling from the night's chaos. They shared cold pizza at the bar top, the neon sign buzzing overhead. Jax opened up then, rare for a man like him. "Tyler was my everything. After his mom split, it was just us on the road. He had your fire, kid, always fighting for what's right." Alex felt a pang of connection, the gay thread weaving through their pain. He confessed more. The nights his father would come home drunk, ranting about those perverts on bikes. How he'd lock Alex in his room to pray the gay away. "I started keeping the folder after Tyler died. Thought it might save me someday." Jax nodded, respect in his eyes. It might save us all. But as they mapped the escape, Alex to a safe house in New Mexico, documents copied and mailed to the FBI, the moral cracks showed. Rico argued for using Alex as bait to lure Harlan out. "Kid's the key. We draw him here. End it." Bear countered, "That's murder. We're not killers." Alex's mind spun. He had begged for hiding, but now he was the pawn in a bigger game. His father's voice echoed in his head. Blood's thicker than water. Was turning him in the right choice even if it meant freedom? Jax saw the conflict. "You choose, Alex. We got your back either way." The afternoon brought unexpected visitors. A couple of off-duty cops sniffing around, tipped off by Harlan. The bikers played it cool, but Alex hid under the bar, pulse racing. When they left, Jax pulled him up. "Close call. We can't wait." They loaded bikes, Alex riding behind Jax, the wind whipping his face as they roared toward the safe house. But doubt festered. Spike rode beside them, his eyes shifty. Alex wondered if loyalty would hold. That night, at a remote motel, Jax confronted him again. "You regret any of this?" Alex thought of Tyler, of the love that cost everything. "No, but I wonder if I'm just like him, destroying lives to save mine." Jax's hand squeezed his shoulder. "Surviving ain't destroying. It's living." The group split watches, the tension electric. Alex lay awake, the bag's secrets now a shared burden. Tomorrow would test them all. The climax hit like a freight train the next evening, as the bikers' convoy pulled into an abandoned warehouse on the edge of the county line. Jax had arranged a drop-off with a trusted contact, but something felt off. The air too still, the shadows too long. Alex clutched his backpack, now lighter without the folder, the copies en route to authorities. "This is it," Jax said, killing his engine. "You cross that line, kid, you're free." But as they dismounted, headlights pierced the darkness. Harlan's squad car, flanked by unmarked vans. "Ambush!" Rico yelled, drawing a pistol. Chaos erupted. Alex dove behind a crate, heart exploding, as shots cracked the night. Harlan's voice boomed through a megaphone. "Alexander Harlan, come out now. This is your last chance." Alex's world narrowed to fear and fury. He saw Jax take cover, firing back, the bikers forming a defensive line. But then Spike bolted straight toward the cops, hands up. He's with them. The kid's bag had everything. Betrayal sliced deep. Spike had sold them out for a deal, whispering to Harlan about the documents days ago. Jax roared in rage, tackling Spike mid-run, fists flying. Traitor! Alex watched in horror as the fight turned personal. Harlan advancing, gun raised, eyes locked on his son. You betrayed me, boy. For these scum. Alex stood then, voice steady despite the terror. You killed Tyler. You ruined us both. The standoff froze everyone. Harlan's face twisted. Anger, regret, something broken. He was corrupting you. I had to. A shot rang out. Not from Harlan, but from Rico, grazing the captain's arm. Sirens wailed in the distance, reinforcements coming. Alex grabbed Jax's arm. We run. Now. They mounted up, engines thundering, bullets whizzing as the bikers peeled out. Harlan slumped against his car, watching his son vanish into the night. The chase was on, but the bikers knew the back roads. Alex clung to Jax, tears streaming. The cost of his choices clear. Family shattered, trust fractured. They lost the tail after miles, pulling into a hidden canyon camp. Jax turned to Alex, bloodied but alive. You okay? Alex nodded, but inside, the awakening hit. He had chosen survival over blood, love over hate. Spike's body lay back there, a price paid. The group regrouped, weary but bonded. Yet the real battle was just won or lost. In the quiet of the canyon dawn, the bikers sat around a small fire, passing a flask as Alex stared into the flames. The escape had worked. The documents were out there now, Harlan suspended pending investigation, the town buzzing with scandal. But victory tasted bitter. Jax sat beside him, shoulder to shoulder, the shared grief for Tyler binding them tighter than blood. You did good, kid. Tyler would have been proud. Alex smiled faintly, the first real one in years. He thought of the road ahead, foster care maybe, or a new life with the bikers' help. But the internal storms raged on. Had he been right to drag innocence into his fight? Rico clapped his back. We chose this. Family sticks. Bear nodded, though his eyes held the weight of lost brothers. The betrayal of Spike lingered, a reminder that choices rippled. Alex reflected on his father's last words, the man broken by his own hate. Harlan had called him that morning from the hospital, voice cracked. I did it for you, to make you strong. But Alex saw the lie, the strength was in accepting who he was. As the sun rose over the mesas, Jax handed Alex a helmet. Ride with us till you're ready. The group mounted, engines roaring to life, a new chapter unfolding. Alex felt the freedom, the love he'd fought for, but the questions haunted him. He had found allies in outlaws, truth in chaos. The world would judge, but he had chosen life. As they rode into the horizon, Alex whispered to the wind, was it worth it? The answer came in the rumble of bikes, the bond forged in fire. But for the world watching, the real debate remained. In a system rigged by power and prejudice, is seeking refuge with the flawed the only path to justice? Was Alex right to turn against his father, or did family demand forgiveness no matter the cost?